It's not RC. Adventures in Radio Control. Hey folks, yep, we're back at my workbench again. Today we're going to talk about HobbyKing's new electric spoilers. I'll do a little bit of a review on these things. So here's the spoiler. They come in a left and a right half. When you're ordering these, you kind of got to bear that in mind. They're two different, one's left, one's right. And you know, instead of a mechanical spoiler that you have to hook up a separate servo to, these come with these little servos sort of built into the end of the thing here. It operates the whole thing for you. It's a blade type spoiler. It just comes up. Well, I'll show you that in a minute. So basically you just plug that right into your receiver, and you don't have to mess around with any servos or linkages or any of that nonsense. Supposedly it's much easier. So I was going to show you both of these in action, but unfortunately one of the two I got, I guess the left one here, is no good. Maybe I'll show you that operating in a sec, but it's completely out of its mind. It's glitchy as all hell and completely useless. So anyway, let's have a look at the right one and see how that works out. So as I mentioned, you just take the whole unit, install it in your wing, and you just hook it right up to the receiver. I got this running on a Y harness, which I normally do, but obviously I'm not going to hook up the other one just yet because it's out of its mind. Anyway, let's see here. Turn my radio on. Battery. Get some radio gear here. Let's see here. Aha! There we go. So I got this operating on the throttle channel here, which is what I normally do for most of my sailplanes. So as you can see, she goes up and down pretty nicely. So yeah, I don't know, they seem to work pretty good. You know, it's proportional. I can open it as much or as little as I want. So here's the business end of the spoiler. You can see it's got a worm drive. Controls the whole thing. It's pretty cool. What's not quite so cool though is there's quite a bit of a slop in this linkage system here. As you can see, that moves a fair amount. However, I'd be really worried about that if it also did that when it was closed, but when it's closed, it's in there pretty good. It really doesn't move that much, so my guess is you don't have to worry too much about the blade getting sucked up, you know, when the plane's flying. You know, the top of the wing here, you know, you got your low pressure going over your airfoil. It tends to suck the blade up out of the wing if it's not in there good and solid, but this feels pretty solid. It's got a little bit of movement up the far end here. Not too much though. I got a feeling that'll be alright for most applications. So yeah, it's not so, I don't know, it's gonna flap around a bit in the air when it's deployed though. Is that a big deal? Sort of, but you know, for the price, it's not bad. Some of the other brands of electric spoilers, they got issues with, you know, if you run this, if you run the stick too far past its endpoint, they'll just burn up, and you'll get a big puff of white smoke come out of here, and they'll be no good. But the HobbyKing ones seem to have a sort of fail-safe built in, so as you're opening it up, and you get to the end, you can continue to push the stick, and it doesn't seem to do it any harm. So, and the same applies when it's closed. I can continue to move that back, and it's not doing anything bad. It's not frying anything. It's not, you know, struggling, or it just cuts out when it gets to the end of its travel. Some of the other servoless spoilers are just a nightmare. You go past that point, and boom, you're done. You've just fried the thing. So that's kind of nice. They're sort of idiot-proof, which is nice. So here's another interesting thing about this. These spoilers is they don't use the full range of travel of the channel you're using. You watch the throttle channel on the top here, this one here. Keep an eye on the indicator there and listen for the servo, and you can see when it starts and ends actually moving. So it's only using maybe I don't know, maybe a quarter of the travel. So that's fully open right now. So, and right about there, she's fully closed. So it's only using a tiny amount of the actual throttle channel, which means you're not getting a whole lot of resolution on this. So consequently, she's a bit, you know, she's not exactly as smooth as she could be. She's a bit glitchy and you know. It's not bad, but I mean, it's not like this is a super precise thing, you know. It's not like an elevator or something, but you know, I don't know why that is. Why they limited it at just that small amount of the channel. Anyway, not a big deal, but it's just something I'd also like to point out. So I know you're all itching to see what the bad one does. Let's hook that one up and watch it go completely nuts. Okay. Well, the first thing you'll notice is if I pull the stick back and try to retract this spoiler, oh jeez, it's going nuts. It makes this horrible whining noise, which I assume is the motor doing something it shouldn't. Well, I didn't do that. See, it's kind of out of its mind. So, oh boy. Yeah, you see, that's just not good at all. So I figure this one's a bad one. I really can't review this one because it's obviously defective, so yeah, you wouldn't want that on your plane though, so that's a bit of a downer. I guess you definitely want to test these before you put them in your plane, but yeah, that one's just completely useless. Disconnect that one and throw it out. Okay, so what do we think of the HobbyKing electric spoilers? Well, I don't know, I give them a 3 out of 5. I think they're good when they're working. I mean, obviously half of the ones I bought today are not good, but you know, you can't really review a defective one that's defective. You know, we're gonna concentrate on the one that actually works, and it does work. It does what it says. So yeah, that's got that going for it. I love that it's got this. You know, it doesn't have the end points. It won't fry itself if you abuse it. I guess. I mean, just a little bit of weight on here. Doesn't seem to mind too much. I wouldn't sit on it, but yeah, it's got some power. So it's really easy to set up. Obviously, you just dump this into the wing, a little piece of balsa wood on the top, some covering, and you know, got yourself a spoiler. You don't have to worry about linkages and servos and all sorts of craziness. So it's simple to set up. Yeah, I don't know. It's I put this in a bargain sort of foamy plane, or maybe I put it in this plane here. You know, I wouldn't put it in a $1,000 composite glider, but you know, for the price and what it is, I don't know, it's all right. So yeah, I don't know. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, hopefully they'll come out with some better gear in the future, some heavier duty ones perhaps, and fix a few of these issues. But I don't know, pretty good start. I think it's an okay product. Anyway, there's that. If you like the stuff, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.